It may just be a straight up B main, and we a 24 car field for tonight's main event here around the knock. Essentially the sprint car capital of the world.
They got 2 parade laps out here under command of the iRacing Pace truck. And when we get things rolling, John Literal going to have command of the field. But these heat races every week in the mods have been something spectacular. So I don't expect nothing less out of these gentlemen. Going to have a couple of cars trying to make their way into at least the B main from the back, if not the feature. So always look for that top 3. And we're going to focus on that 3rd place for the transfer.
All right, so one more time around the Knoxville Raceway, and these cars are going to get set loose. Keep an eye on the second row, Shane James and Dylan Wilson. Hopefully those two drivers looking into tonight's main event, but the 68 of John Literal. He will have command of the field.
All right, well, Brett, here we go. First heat race getting ready to get underway here. 10 laps on the board. Pace truck is down and away. John Literal rolling out of turn 4, gets on the gas. We are green for heat number 1 here at Knoxville. Gets a good jump over Capron, James, and Wilson. Wilson already going to the top side in that 80 car. Shane James trying to get to the inside of Capron as he's trying to get to the inside of Literal as they work their way off of turn 2 for the first time tonight. James is there to the inside of Capron, the blue car on the bottom. Capron is the white running the middle. And Shane James going to take over second. Actually, he's trying to go for the race lead.
Yeah, I dare say that Literal's going to have his hands right now. The battle on for the race lead. Oh, car it is Austin Carr got into the side of Dylan Wilson, but meanwhile Shane James, he's taken over the race lead as they go turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps complete, and Shane James is in the race lead. Jeremy Capron now up into position number 2, back in 3rd, and we got a 3-wide battle going on behind them for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, Austin Carr going to be the 4th place car coming out of turn number 2. Tyler Hudson battling with Dylan Wilson, but no battle, no more as Wilson on the bottom. He's now trying to get around the inside of that 5 car. He gets it pretty commandingly as now he sets his sights on the 68 of John Literal for that final transfer spot from heat number 1. We got 3 laps down, 7 to run as Shane James setting sail out here looking to take home a heat win on the night. And Capron still in that 2nd position.
Yeah, Austin Carr in 5th, trying to go to the high side in turns number 1 and 2. He hit the wall on the entry into turn 1, and that lost a little bit of ground. Meanwhile, battle on for Wilson. He gets into the side of Little. Now they're going to go side by side, coming up to turn number 4. Wilson, he has command of that 3rd and final transfer spot, pushing Literal into position number 4. I wouldn't surprise me if he falls back further right now because you've got Austin Carr coming on his outside. And Austin Carr, speak of the devil, he is making a move into position number 4.
Literal on the berm. Hudson gets into the back of him. We're going to slow both of those cars down. Now the cluster back here between 5th through 8th is on as Literal pulls away in that 5th position. Schmidt in that 19 on the inside of the 01 trying to take over that 6th spot. But with Shane James now in that 3 car coming off of turn 4, we have 7 laps down, 3 to run here in heat number 1.
You know, the track is fairly still juiced up considering that there's a slick line all the way around in both ends of the racetrack. I mean the straights are fairly even, so there's a top here. I don't think the bottom is there. Sorry, and the top is still just waiting to come in a little bit. There's no cushion just developing at the moment, but we're going to see 2 laps left to run here, and it is all Shane James out in front.
Yeah, really, the top 4 strung themselves out. Actually, make that the top 5, really. The only battle going on is who's going to be dead last right now as Tyler Hudson and Ryan Gaunt are fighting for that honor here. Gaunt gets around the 01 for that 7th position as the white flag is out for Shane James. Now coming off of turn number 4. He's going to get the victory here in heat number 1. Stamps his ticket to the feature, as well as Jeremy Capron and Dylan Wilson, Austin Carr, John Literal, Brandon Schmidt, Ryan Gaunt. Actually, Tyler Hudson got back around Ryan Gaunt there at the line. And those gentlemen are going to have to go through the hard way through the C and B mains.
Heat race number 2. So heat race number 1 fairly strung out. We'll see what we can have here in heat race number 2. The 74 of Blake Brown will line up in position number 1. So he's outside the 56 of Mike Molnar will line up at a position number 2. Inside row number 2 is going to be the 07 of Howard Weaver. To his outside, the 777 of Jacob Leverstein lines up at a position number 4. At a position 5, it's the 722 of Tommy Dutcher. Who's outside, starting position 6. It's the 55 of Jordan Wesley. In car number 97, Mark Molnar will line up at a position number 7. Yes, and Kyle Morris. In car number 93 will line up at a position number 8, giving us our 8 cars here in heat race number 2.
Well, heat race number 1 definitely didn't disappoint. Shane James coming from 3rd to 1st on that exchange as the cars are now rolling out onto the racing surface. Leverstein, second quick tonight. Going to start out of position number 4. Don't count out anybody from row 2, or really don't count out anybody in this whole field, as we say week in and week out, because you never know what's going to happen towards the front. And this track starting to widen out just a little bit. As you can see, the slick pretty much encompassing the bottom 2 lanes, both at both ends of the racetrack. So Blake Brown going to get us started here when we get the green flag in just about a parade lap.
So, a couple of guys keeping an eye on the back row as their qualifying efforts were. They'd be a little bit disappointed. 3/4 of a second behind a quick time tonight. Mark Molnar, the 97, we know he generally sort of runs anywhere. He'll run the bottom. Kyle Morris, who we've seen sort of be a front runner in the opening couple of feature events towards the front of the field. They're going to come from that 4th row. And the pace truck will take the left-hand turn onto pit road, and we are getting set to go green. In fact, we are green right now. Mike Molnar got the jump on Blake Brown on that start. Brown going to come back to his inside in turns 1 and 2. Weaver up to position, stayed in position number 3. He goes to the top side of the racetrack. But Leverstein now going to look to the inside. Weaver trying to run the middle in 3 and 4. Blake Brown, your race leader. Mike Molnar had a bit of a push. Leverstein had to get on the brakes a little bit, but they got back on the gas, and now Leverstein is looking for second on the inside of Molnar.
Yeah, pushes him out of line. The 56 comes back down into the 777, and then Howard Weaver tucked in behind him. Here goes the 56. He's going to slide up almost into the door. Leverstein, there goes Weaver into the door of Molnar. Rides the berm a little bit, and Weaver going to go back. Was still in 4th, but he lost a little bit of momentum there as the battle for the transfer spot is heating up here early in this heat. But Blake Brown out front last time around by 0.7 of a second. Let's see where he is at the line. Our top 4 single file right now, and Brown now only 0.6 ahead of Leverstein.
Yeah, there was a great scrap going on for 5th on back. You had Mark Molnar, Jordan Wesley, and Kyle. Single file right now. We'll keep an eye on the battle for the 3rd and final transfer spot. That belongs to the 56 of Mike Molnar. The 07 of Howard Weaver. Well, he may have laid down a semi-decent lap time, but he's out of a transfer spot into that A main and looking like he's maybe starting at a position 2 in the B main if he's unable to get a top 3 here in the heat race tonight. And Blake Brown continuing to lead the race. We complete halfway home in heat race number 2. 5 down, 5 to run.
Leverstein starting to catch our race leader as Weaver's now trying to catch Molnar as well in that 56. Of course, both the Molnar brothers in this heat race. There goes Weaver to the inside. The battle is on for that 3rd position. Molnar has it right now, but Weaver gets it at the line after drag racing down the front stretch. He's going to take the inside and get around that 56. So Weaver gets himself into a transfer spot in that 07. Molnar trying to fight back into turn 3. They go. Everybody riding that berm so far, and Weaver going to maintain that spot.
Well, it's interesting to see that, you know, we had 2 heat races now where it's, you know, it's been single file. You know, the track looked like it's definitely got 2 racing lines, but you know, these guys are just, you know, rolling that bottom of the racetrack, the shortest way around the racetrack, and I guess the modified's not too. I don't know where I'm going with that.
And they don't seem to like to be anywhere but the bottom. But with 2 laps to go, Blake Brown in the 74 car, he got a little bit of an advantage off of Leverstein that last time around. 777 was riding the berm like that 07 does coming out of 4, but the white flag is out for the 74, Blake Brown. And as of right now, it looks like our top 3 are going to transfer to the feature. Just have a half a track to go.
So Brown into 3 and 4 for the final time. Leverstein not going to have any chance at getting that 74. Blake Brown comes up for turn 4. He gets the win and will transfer into the main event along with Jacob Leverstein and Howard Weaver. Mark Molnar in 4th and 5th. Jordan Leslie, Kyle Morris, and Tommy Dutcher rounds out our 8-car field.
What?
All right, heat number 3 getting ready to come to you
Just
here.
because there's a little opening there doesn't mean you can fucking drive.
As drivers are loading onto the starting grid. Going to run down that real quick. The 555 of Roman Wesley going to start out of position number 1 tonight. Randall Carter in the 37 rolling in that 2nd position. Trevor Fitz in the 28 going to start in 3rd. And Clay Debin, the 84, 3rd quickest tonight, going to roll off in that 4th position. 47 of Lucas Chowning going to start in 5th. The double deuce, Drew Phillips starting in 6th. Dalton Connor into 23 in 7th. And Dennis Potridge Jr., the 99, going to start in that 8th and final spot for heat number 3. Another 10 laps gets put on the board. Another 10 laps here at the half mile at Knoxville about to be run. Top 3, of course, will transfer to the feature. Everybody else going to have to do it the hard way from the B and C mains.
So can say that it's a little bit of an argument going on between a couple of drivers from that previous heat. Mike Molnar, I'm not happy with the move that Leverstein put on him. So it's a bit of controversy. Hey, what's a race without controversy between some drivers?
Oh, yeah. You know. Got to spice something up here. I don't mean putting chili peppers in everybody's fire suits.
Well, I'm going to continue a different meme. And let's hope I don't drop them.
All right, Roman Wesley, 555. Black, white, and pink numbered machine going to have the command of the field when we get going for this next 10-lap heat. Pace truck is off. He's down and away. Green flag is out for heat number 3. Gets a good jump on the rest of the field. Randall Carter caught sleeping a little bit. Clay Debin already going to the high side as Trevor Fitz now to the inside at 37. Almost 3 wide for second. Oh, the 28 to 37 they touch. Randall Carter's going around. Lucas Chowning caught up in it as well. Carter all the way to the back of the pack. And Fitz now, oh, he's still getting into people. The 23 is around as well. Dalton Connor wrecking on the front straightaway. Roman Wesley, Clay Debin, and Drew Phillips in the 22 now. He's got to watch out. That 28 has been dangerous so far in the first lap of this heat.
Well, heat 3 produced Trevor Fitz now in the 28. He's got Phillips in front of him. Phillips gets a little sideways. Phillips, no offense, but he's a little bit slower than the 28. But Trevor Fitz is going to have to find a way around the 22, and it's something we haven't really seen so far in the heat races tonight. We haven't seen anyone, work the middle or even work that top side of the racetrack. It's all been bottom dominant right now.
And you can see that actually Clay Debin has caught our race leader, Roman Wesley. He was using that high lane in that 84 and 1 and 2. Did gain a little bit of time as he's now migrating to the outside of the slick, just outside of the slick with the right rear. And still maintaining a 2-car length gap between him and the race leader.
Yeah, Fitz now on the inside of Phillips, and he makes the pass in turn 3 and 4 without touching the 22. So Fitz will take over that third and final transfer spot as we're halfway. 5 down, 5 to run. Devon sitting back there in second. Roman Wesley in first. And a couple of car lengths, as Wes said earlier on, in the 28, if he's going to have any chance at picking up a heat win, he needs to get up on the wheel and get on his bike.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. They're just pulling away about a 1.3 second advantage from the race lead to that third place. Devin all over the back of that 555. So that 84, he's came to race tonight. It's just catching him is one thing, passing him is another, as he rode the berm there coming out of 4 and lost a tremendous amount of time from the race lead. So Clay Devin going to have to regain his momentum here and try to get back up there if he wants to take home the checkered flag in heat number 3. We got 2 laps to go, this time by at the start-finish line. Roman Wesley still our race leader.
No, we're on lap 9. I thought we're on lap 10 for some reason, but tell you what, Trevor Fitz has caught your front 2 cars at the moment, and I think he's going to run out of laps to have a challenge for the race lead. He's running a car lane up from where Clay Devin is running, and the white flag is out as we speak, and the 84 sitting in second. Roman Wesley, your race leader, looking to pick up heat race number 3 and transfer into the main event. And that'll give him a 3rd starting spot in tonight's main event as well.
Well, there they go, coming out of turn 4. 555. Roman Wesley gets that checkered flag. Clay Devin and Trevor Fitz going to transfer to the main as they all decide to tank slap the outside retaining wall there. Drew Phillips, Lucas Chowning, Randall Carter, Dennis Potridge Jr., and Dalton Connor, the remainder of that field. And heat number 4, the final heat of the night before we get into C and B main racing, is heading to the grid here on the pit lane.
All right, heat race number 4. I'll just get that up here. The 06 of Albert Perez will start on the bottle to his outside. Garrett Niebury in car number 29 will start out of position number 2. Out of position 3, the 88 of Chad Wheeler. He will start alongside the 96 of Mike McKinney out of position number 4. David Heileman will start out of position number 5 in car 26 to his outside, the 12 of Dave Hartman. And starting out of position number 7, unusual to see this guy so far back in a heat race. It's the 42 of Virgil Graham.
All right, well, they're now out to the racetrack. Going to be interesting to see if Chad Wheeler can go ahead and cement his place here in the feature. He missed the feature last week by 1 spot on the racetrack. So the 88 definitely going to have to rebound if he wants to be a championship contender here tonight. Mike McKinney, that 96, always puts on a good show. So only looks to be, oh, there's the 7th car. Just hanging behind there a little bit. 7 cars for 3 positions for the main event later on tonight. So it's about to get good here for 10 laps at the half mile here at Knoxville.
Keep an eye on the 42, as I said, Virgil Graham. He's in unfamiliar territory right now. Normal team towards the front of the field. He's already picked up a feature win here at Team VLR this season. I'm not sure whether he done it in a, was it a modified or a late model he done? It was one of them. I can't remember.
Flip a coin. Here we go. Pace car is off. Albert Perez down and away in that 06 car. Chad Wheeler gets a good jump on the inside. He's side by side with that 29 of Newbergy as we head into turn 1 and 2 for the first time in heat number 4. Mike McKinney all over the back bumper. We're 3 wide for 2nd place. McKinney to the inside. He backs out of that very heads-up move from that 96. Newbergy still on it outside. He's going to lose that final transfer spot as they come off of turn 4 for the first time. Lap 1 is in the books.
Yeah, Virgil Graham up to position number 5 as well. Your race leader, Albert Perez, Chad Wheeler, Mike McKinney. And you get back to Newbergy and or Virgil Graham. McKinney to the inside of Wheeler in turns 3 and 4. Going to be a drag race off of turn number 4. Who's going to have second? It's going to be McKinney Whoa, he's just got so much car speed off turn number 4. He almost passed Wheeler like he was standing still. Wheeler may have to go to the doctors. He may need a flu shot.
Well, he's shuffled back to third. Now Virgil Graham up to position number 4 after getting around to Berge on that last lap, looking to take over that third position from the 88. At 42, bad fast right now. Must have had a lot of issue there during qualifying. So there he goes. He's peeking to the inside, going to hit the berm a little bit, almost into the back of that 88. Coming out of turn number 4, once again, Chad Wheeler going to pull about a car length advantage over Virgil Graham as he goes to the high side. The 88, for some reason, went to the high side, gets a good run off the turn, but lost a ton of ground to that 42 as he's there to the inside of Wheeler. Virgil Graham almost into position number 3.
Battle on for the race lead. McKinney to the inside of has to go to the top of the racetrack. He's shuffled to Wheeler, not close enough there to take over that second spot. Car and a half length back now is Wheeler. Now Wheeler catches right up to the 06 as Virgil Graham had to get on the brakes as well to stop from running into the back of that number 88. We can number 6, so 4 laps remain here in the 4th and final heat race.
Yeah, McKinney's starting to set sail now. Wheeler trying to get around that 06 Albert Perez. That's a battle for second. You try and put a little bit of a buffer between him and that 42 because Graham, he's coming. It's just, can he catch back up with only 3 laps remaining here at Knoxville? Wheeler still to the inside of Perez. Perez holding his own here in that 06. I'm thoroughly impressed with the driver of that machine. He's been pretty much, about a mid-pack racer throughout the whole season, but he's holding his own up here with some of the guys who ran up front for the majority of the season.
Yeah, he sure has. He's keeping his own right now, holding in second. Wheeler, in the third and final transfer spot as he's looking to potentially take over position. Position number 2 as Mike McKinney. I'll say goodbye to him. He's almost taken off in tonight's A main. He's that far ahead.
Yeah, just about. That battle for the transfer spot is so tight right now. Perez, Wheeler, and Graham, 2nd through 4th. Graham's to the inside of Wheeler. He's going to throw it in there. He backs off. Going to get another charge coming out of the turn. Wheeler almost into the 06. They're both riding the berm. Wheeler's going to get that transfer spot with McKinney and Perez advancing to the A main. Virgil Graham decided to harikari there, and he completely obliterated that 42 car. He's going to finish in 4th. Garrett Newbergy, Dave Hartman, and David Heileman are going to do it the hard way here tonight. The C main has been skipped. The B main on tap with 8 laps. Top 12 will advance to the feature, and 19 cars. It's going to be a lot harder than it is most weeks to get up to a transfer spot.
Normally we have a C main and we take the top 4, and then normally we have, I think it's a 14 or 16 car field in the B main and we take the top 12. Tonight it's a 19 car B main, and with 12 positions on the line, it's going to get very hairy around that 12th and final transfer spot. We're going to send 7 guys home, and we'll lock in the 24 drivers for tonight's main event.
All right. Well, it looks like the majority of the drivers are on the grid. We're going to roll down the starting grid. Grid is going to be on your ticker on the top of your screen. The 5 of Austin car going to start from the pole here. Mike Molnar in the 56 going to start in 2nd. Drew Phillips 3rd. In that 22, and Virgil Graham, the 42, going to start in 4th. John Literal going to roll from the 5th position, and Mark Molnar in the 97 going to start in 6th. Lucas Chowning, the 47, in 7th. 8th goes to the 29 of Garrett Newbergy. Brandon Schmidt in the 19 going to start in 9th. And 10th going to go to the 55 of Jordan Wesley.
And position number 11, the 37 of the 12. Of Dave Hartman, Tyler Hudson, and Kyle Morris in row 7. Dennis Potridge Jr. alongside David Hartman in row 9. Ryan Gort, Tommy Dutcher, and Dalton Connor brings up the 19 car field here in tonight's B main, and you threw me off guard.
I know I did. I chuckled on the inside when I did that.
Yeah. Hashtag screw Wes.
Hey, I mean,
if it gets you something, you know, I'm gonna throw it in.
I don't think my wife would appreciate that. All right, 8 laps on the board. Got 19 drivers out on the racetrack. This is gonna get hairy pretty quickly. The pace car, is off. Austin Carr down and away, trying to get a good jump on the field. Mike Molnar, though, he's been on and on these restarts. Green flag is in the air as they dive these UMP modifieds into turn number 1 for the first time here in the B main. You see Drew Phillips in that 22 getting passed by the 42 of Virgil Graham for that 3rd spot. John Little diving to the inside of that 32 as the 97 trying to get there as well. Drew Phillips fighting back on the inside of Virgil Graham for that 3rd position.
Yeah, Phillips trying to make that low side. But here comes the 68 and the 97. Little position 5 and 6. Nieberge. Near back to Jordan. Where's he? Lucas Channing. Dave Hartman on the outside. Oh, no, Nieberge. And the 29 gets turned. And he's now going to the back of the bus. He's going to be a couple of cars. We've got Channing, Hotwood Shandy. We have Dalton Connor, Brandon Schmidt. So the top 12 right now, Ryan Dawn is in that 12th and final transfer spot.
Yeah, Heileman was involved in that wreck as well. The battle for the race lead is on, though. Austin Carr and Mark Molnar putting on a show out front as lap number 4 is underway. We have 5 laps to go. Not a lot of time here for this B main. So pretty much whoever was involved in that wreck is pretty much going to go home. Molnar still on the bottom of the racetrack. Carr to the top side in that blue number 5 car. But Molnar powering through the bottom. He's going to hold on to the race lead here at halfway.
Yeah, Carr trying to make that outside work in turns 1 and 2. And it seems to me that he's probably one of the only so far. He's trying to get all 4 tyres up in the moisture, up on the top of the racetrack. Molnar consistently on the low side of the racetrack. Virgil Graham in 3rd. Graham now going to venture up top in turns number 1 and 2. We completed 5 laps, 7 laps left to run here in the B main, and it's going to be Austin Carr who leads for a brief moment down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Molnar, great side-by-side battle for the race. It's now a 3-car battle, but Molnar, he takes back the race lead on the front stretch.
And 2 laps to run in that 56th and that 5. They are putting on a show up here for that race lead. Carr, I mean, he's got the momentum on the high side. It's just, can he get it done coming out of 3 and 4? Because it just looks like Molnar's car is just hooked up there on the bottom. Virgil Graham trying to get it as well. At the line, it was a dead even heat. White flag is out. Mike Molnar now in that 56. Carr's got him cleared. He's going to have to come down to block him if he wants to. Molnar and Graham now side by side. The 56, the 5. Who is going to take home the checkered flag in the B main? Drag race down the front stretch is going to be Carr.
What a race in the B main. Austin Carr gets the job done. Mike Molnar, Virgil Graham, Mark Molnar. Top 5, John Little, Drew Phillips, Tyler Hudson, Dave Hartman, and Randall Carter. In 10th, 11th was Ryan Gort and Kyle Morris, the 12th car that will make it into the A main from the B main, and that'll be our 12 cars that we will see later on. Brandon Smith, Lucas Channing, Dalton Connor, Dennis Butler Jr., Garrett Nieberge, and David Heileman and Tommy Dutcher all getting sent home, so they might as well pack up their virtual race cars. And if they want to admin, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, we're going to get into the main event here in just a moment.
Oh, yes, we are. Just incredible racing up front there from those guys. So doesn't look like anybody wants to be in the Discord here, so I don't think we're going to be able to give any interviews.
That's
so
fine.
We're going to go ahead and pay a couple of bills. We're going to thank our sponsors real quick. X.CELERATED, of course, for being the title sponsor for all 3 series. WR1 Sim Chassis for giving away a sim rig to the modified champion here this year. Of course, Team Friday sponsoring the fastest lap in all 3 series. Hard Charger Award tonight sponsored by Burberry Designs, and the Kenny Wallace Dirt Racing Experience for giving out a free drive to all of the VLR champions. You can check out our affiliates up there as well on your screen. We're going to go and pay some bills. So stay tuned. We have feature racing coming up in just a few short moments.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is dirt racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is dirt racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Knoxville Raceway half-mile dirt track here. We're ready for the A main, getting ready to go live in just a few minutes here. Drivers out here getting in last-minute adjustments to these UMP modifieds. We're going to go feature racing for 50 laps tonight, and still don't know if the admins are flippy-floppy on cautions or not. Don't know if they're going to count. Don't know if they're not. So that's what we got to go with so far. So hope you got a drink over the break, maybe a little snack or something, and make sure the edge of your seat is nice and comfortable because you're gonna need it.
You gotta know when to roll it. Let's go, boys. Let's get the officials and let's get this race underway because, well, we got half an hour to finish this race.
And just looking at practice, Clay Devin definitely came out to play tonight. He's on top of the practice boards. Dylan Wilson, Trevor Fitz, Shane James, and Tyler Hudson. He must have went into the iRacing archives there and pulled out a little bit of that gritpack.exe because he's definitely a ton faster than what he was during those heats and the B mains. Of course, we're joking. We like to keep it lighthearted. But
really,
haven't you seen the last 2 weeks of stuff?
Really? No, I haven't seen it. You know why? Because I've fallen asleep. I love you guys. I love everyone.
Oh, jeez. Well,
what's life without a chat?
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, the grid is getting ready to get onto the pit lane here. iRacing Pace Truck going to have us around for 2 parade laps, and then we're going to unleash these UMP modifieds here for 50 laps with Dylan Wilson in that 80 car, starting out of position number 1. 777 of Jacob Leverstein going to start out of position number 2. Row 2 is going to have the 84 Clay Devin and the 96 of Mike McKinney. Shane James in the 3 car going to start in 5th, and the 74 of Blake Brown is going to roll off in that 6th position. 555 of Roman Wesley going to start out of position number 7, and 8th goes to that 23 car of Jeremy Capron. Albert Perez in the 06 going to start in 9th, and the 07 Howard Weaver rounds out our top 10 starters tonight. Trevor Fitz in the 28 going to start in 11th, and Chad Wheeler going to be to the outside of row number 6 in the 88.
Out of position 13, Secudano of Austin Car. Mike Molnar in 56 starts out of position 14. Virgil Graham will start out of position 15. Mark Molnar will line up behind his brother in position number 16. 17th starter will go to John Little. The 22 of Drew Phillips will start in 18th. Tyler Hudson in 19th. Dave Hartman in 20th. 21st, Randall Carter. 22nd belongs to Ryan Gaunt, and Carl Morris rounds out our 23 car field. Ned Livingston. I want to yell because I can yell, and you know what? I like you, Ed.
All right, folks. One more pace lap around. 80 Dylan Wilson, championship points leader coming into tonight's race. Going to start on the pole. And looking through the rest of them, Howard Weaver, second in points, going to start in 10th. Chad Wheeler back in 12th. So he has an opportunity to gain a lot of points here for the championship. The halfway point of the season is about to get underway. Feature racing is down and away. Green flag is out here at Knoxville. 50 laps on the board. Look at Mike McKinney, that 96, already trying to cut down to the inside of Leverstein as they enter in turn number 1 for the first time tonight. 84 Clay Devin on the bottom, but Leverstein powering around on that outside. He's got a wheel there on that 80 car, and the battle is on for the race lead as well. Dylan Wilson looking to keep it. He's on that bottom. The bottom has been fast throughout all of the heats, and the B main, but Leverstein still fighting on that outside as Mike McKinney's throwing his hat in the ring too. He's there to the back bumper of that number 80 car.
Yeah, McKinney thought about making the pass on the initial start there, but had he had passed Leverstein on the inside, he would have gotten black flag. So made the smart choice to back out of it and just ride in third, but now he takes over position number 2 as Wilson. He's now run to the top side of the racetrack, leaving the bottom open for Mike McKinney. And this is a race that I want to see, McKinney versus Wilson.
Yeah, this is a race that we all wanted to see coming to complete lap 3. They're fanned out all throughout the rest of the field as well. But that battle for that race lead really heating up early on in this feature. McKinney had the lead for a split second coming out of turn 2. Wilson with that high side momentum going to keep that race lead. Leverstein shuffled back to third behind that 96. And Clay Devin still keeping up with our top 3 front runners. For right now, Jeremy Capron making his way through the field in that 23 car as well. He's up to 5th.
Battle on for the race lead. McKinney looked to the inside of Wilson there. And Wilson used that high side momentum to power back around the outside of the 96. He makes a mistake in 3 and 4. Sorry, we're in 3 and 4. Almost forgot where we were just then. But now Wilson's going to go back to the top in 1 and 2. And McKinney rolls right through the middle of the Luxor Raceway in turns 1 and 2. Pulls up alongside the 80 of Wilson. But Wilson, once again, he's going to block that lane going into turn number 3 and 4.
Leverstein almost to the back of that 96 car for a split second. He's there coming out of turn number 4. While their single file up front, back behind him, is really starting to fan out. Shane James gets a little piece of the wall trying to get around the outside of the 07 of Howard Weaver, who's making his way through the pack as well, following his teammate in that 23 of Jeremy Capron. They're trying to battle around that 74 of Blake Brown. Coming out of turn number 3, the 23 car has a spot. Here goes the 07 of Weaver to the outside of that 74. And caution comes out for the first time. Albert Perez turned on the front stretch. He's still here. He just blinked out for a second. But the first caution of the night comes out here at lap number 7. Yep, completed lap 7. Gets turned around by that 28 of Trevor Fitz.
Mike, that is while trying to commentate. You gotta love it, don't you? Wilson, I tell you what, the top 4, they go nose to tail down the back straightaway, or even front straightaway, and then by the time, I think it's the front straightaway, by the time they get into turns 1 and 2, it's kind of like watching an NFL pack, when they're coming up with a play, and then, they're in a little bit of a huddle, and they're like, all right, 2 go this way, 2 go that way, on guard, break! And then they just 2 goes high, 2 goes low, and then they get back single file. It's like watching an NFL game. It takes 5 hours to run, and you end up falling asleep.
I love your analogies, Brett. Just love them to death.
Thanks.
Let's see. Only 23 drivers made the race tonight. We should have had a 24th. Not sure who that was, but they did not get into the feature server in time. So only 23 cars out here. A couple of big movers through the pack so far. Howard Weaver from 10th to 6th. We go back to Mike Molnar from 14th to 11th on the field. And then looking back here, Randall Carter from 21st to 17th, and Ryan Gaunt from 22nd to 18th. So a lot of guys making their way through the field, especially towards the back of the pack. We got 7 laps down, 43 to run here, and we're going to line them up 2 by 2, get them re-racked for you gentlemen and ladies out there, and get them set back on their way. Green flag coming up after the next turn.
Well, Wilson now going to start on the low side. As the pace truck will take the left-hand turn in pit road. It's a long 3 and 4. Well, he makes the left-hand turn, and Wilson gets straight on the gas with Mike McKinney in second. They switch lanes going into turn 1 and 2. Wilson goes back to the top. McKinney through the middle. Who's going to have it coming up for turn number 2? It's going to be Wilson hanging on right now, and he's going to shut the door on McKinney as they go into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Leverstein putting the wheel in on McKinney, going to lose that momentum coming off of 4. Back to the 3rd spot goes that 777. And then a lot of side-by-side, but that battle for that race lead heating up. Dylan Wilson in an 80 car. He's just keeping that momentum, keeping that 80 wound up just enough to keep in front of that 96. But as the race progresses and that top side gets a little of that moisture taken out of it, McKinney on that bottom, he's actually now in the middle of the turn. He's going to look pretty good as the night goes on.
All right, look at the 84 of Devon, almost look to the inside of the 777 of Jacob Leverstein. Capron and Weaver are going to go side by side into turn number 1 and 2. That's your battle for 4th and 5th. Almost a battle for the race lead. McKinney once again, he's almost to the inside of Dylan Wilson. The battle right now is on for 4th and 5th. Devon, he's trying to hang on to 4th spot in that 84, and here comes Capron to his outside.
Yeah, that 23 car has been like a rocket since the drop of the green flag earlier tonight. Still running in a high lane. Devon's got a bumper full of the 07 coming off of turn number 2. Now Weaver going to go to the outside of Devon, as Devon and Capron now battling for that 4th position. Capron on that high side. Devon making the bottom still work here. As we can see, most of the competitors have migrated to the high side throughout the rest of the field. But Devon defending that position very well on the bottom of the racetrack.
Okay, I don't want to find it.
At the line, Devon has got that spot. Shane James going to throw his hat into the ring as well. That 3 car has caught up to this battle for 4th. Sitting back in 7th is that driver, Shane James. Following in the tire tracks of the 07 of Howard Weaver, around just outside of the slick. And now Capron, he has got Devon cleared for that 4th spot. Howard Weaver's turn to get cleared. That's the battle for 5th between the 07 and 84. There goes Capron. He's finally got him cleared down the back straightaway. And it looks like we have 15 down this time by.
Yeah, 35 to run. I'll get a word in before you decide to continue on. Give your voice a little bit of a breather. Capron and Weaver on the outside of Devon, and Weaver's going to make that pass coming off of turn number 2. You can almost call it NASCAR-like style, as the kind of nose to tail, almost like a bit of a bump draft down the back straight away. But Devon going to fight back to the inside. Meanwhile, Dylan Wilson, well, he's starting to clear out from Mike McKinney.
Yeah, he is. Oh, we got 3 wide back here between Capron, Weaver, and Devon for that 4th spot. The 84 is on the inside, the 07 in the middle, the 23 to the top. Weaver, he's going to lose that momentum running that middle. Capron going to get around the outside of the 07 there to go back again into turn number 1. 3 wide still, and Shane James checking up a little bit in that 3 car to keep out of this battle as of right now. But Devon, I mean, he's fighting down there. It does look like he kind of had to check up a little bit to keep out of that 07 James. Oh, Weaver's into the wall on the front stretch.
Give him a couple of laps, because James is going to get past these 3 drivers, and I'll tell you why he's going to be doing it. He's the only driver to start to run the cushion on this racetrack right now. He sort of found it early on. No one else has found it. You know, everyone's sort of running the bottom and the middle and stuff like that. Shane James actually been running the cushion. I've been watching him for the past sort of 4 or 5 laps, and he gets that right rear on the cushion, and it's just an absolute rocket ship coming off the corners. As meanwhile, Weaver, I believe he may have just jumped the cushion in turns 1 and 2 right now. So keep an eye on the 3 of Shane James.
Well, that battle's going on. We got a gaggle of cars back here with the 74 leading the pack. You got Trevor Fitz, Virgil Graham, Chad Wheeler, and Austin Carr all in a row here. Just about 3 wide. There they are. They're 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. The 5 car gets a little taste of the wall. Fitz is in the middle. Blake Brown on the bottom. Virgil Graham trying to follow that 5 of Austin Carr. And Tyler Hudson, the 01, is in the mix as well. It's about 6 or 7 cars battling back here for what seems to be the 9th and 10th positions. 74 getting freight train right now after having a great starting position out of position number 7. The 97 of, who was that? Mark Molnar, down 2 laps, took the pit entry lane right over the berm to avoid getting into all of that. But it does seem like this battle is settling down now, as the 88 has been caught behind that 74 and gonna just fall back into line back there in the 14th position. Capron and Weaver now doing battle for that 4th spot. Weaver around the outside of Capron out of 2. He's going to clear him and take over that 4th spot. Capron back to 5th. We're going to fight back in the middle of the racetrack. Shane James stalking this battle.
Now Weaver's actually found the cushion as well, and he's been running it once again, the past 4 or 5 laps, and as I say, that he jumps the cushion, Shane James jumps the cushion, he gets out of shape, he's not going to lose any spots. In fact, he lost 1 spot to the 84 of Clay Devon, and the second yellow comes out of the night, as it could have been the 37 of Randall Carter.
Yeah, it looks like the triple fives got into the back of the 74, slowed it up, and Randall Carter ended up getting caught up in that little incident right there. He goes around, stops on the racetrack, and that's going to bring out our second yellow of the evening with 26 laps remaining on the board. Right now, it's just Dylan Wilson's race to lose right now. That 80 car has been bad fast all night, leading wire to wire so far. Mike McKinney, that 96, we always know that he's going to be a factor whenever he shows up to a race, and he's been the only one to give that 80 a challenge so far tonight. Can anybody else coming from the back of the pack here? You got Weaver, Capron, and Shane James, who've been making their way through the running order as of that last green flag run. Can they do anything to get up here and spoil Wilson's night?
Well, who knows? I was talking before, but turns out I need to actually click on Discord. I opened up a different program, and yeah, kind of made myself look like an idiot right there. I apologize, Wes. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Tonight's just been full of satire. So we got him re-rack 2 by 2. Once again, going to come to the green flag. Got 26 laps to run. 34 laps down. Well, 24 laps down. Should be. So Dylan Wilson in that 80 car, our race leader, Leverstein, all over the back of that 80. Down and away they go. Green flag back out here. McKinney gets a good jump. Oh, Wilson pushes him up the racetrack. Leverstein takes the race lead.
And here comes Weaver. 3 wide for second. Wow, what a battle we have right now. Leverstein to the pointy end of the field. McKinney in second. Wilson rides the top side of the racetrack. In turns 3 and 4. In third, he's got Weaver on the inside. Oh, wow. That's why he said Devon.
Devon goes around in front of pretty much the entire field. Out of turn number 4. The 56 actually got a piece of him, tagged him. Austin Carr finishes the job off. Ryan Gaunt, Roman Wesley, everybody else seems to have phased through him. 555. He went for a ride down the front stretch, but caution comes out for the 3rd time tonight. Jacob Leverstein, though, the beneficiary of contact between the 96 and the 80 on that restart.
What a crazy restart that was. That was... Well, they've taken the name away from me, because that was nuts.
Yeah, I would have to say that was definitely one of the most interesting restarts we've seen all season long. I mean, it just looked like the 80 was getting on the gas, pushing up. The 96 was there. I mean, he was already in the wall by the time Wilson was into him, and just slowed down both cars enough, and the 777 just snuck past on the inside. Of course, Howard Weaver, I believe he got around the 80 car as well, so it's going to put him up to 3rd, put Capron back into 5th, and Shane James to the outside of row number 3 on this restart. But that 777, he's definitely going to have the restart of his life here. He wants to hold this lead and get that checker flag at the end of the night.
The 56 of Mike Molnar being given a EOL for that one, deemed to be the primary cause of that caution. So the 56, although he started, I'm not sure where he started. Let me find out where his number. He started 14th, made his way towards the front of the field, and now he's just been given the EOL. He's going to be at the back of the bus, and going to have to make his way forward again.
All right, well, we're back 2 by 2 once again. Restart coming up here. Jacob Leverstein, Mike McKinney, Howard Weaver, Dylan Wilson, your top 2 rows coming to this restart. 777 down and away on the gas. Mike McKinney not caught sleeping. He's going to be to the outside as they hit the start-finish line. McKinney on the outside. He's rolling fast up there. He's battling for that race lead. Leverstein, he's lost the race lead. Mike McKinney goes to the point. Dylan Wilson trying to follow suit with that 96 as they're fanning out behind him. And new race leader, Mike McKinney, the 96 car.
And look who's riding the top of the racetrack. In fact, the top 5 right now as Wilson come up the top of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2, expecting to go to the bottom in 3 and 4. No, just make a liar out of me yet again, as he's now going to try and find a cushion up in turns 3 and 4. Keep an eye on Wilson, Weaver, and Shane James all over the top in 3 and 4. As you see, Leverstein and McKinney, they run the bottom in 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Wilson's got a run here on Leverstein. Just got out of the gases a little bit. Now going to keep it to the high side as Leverstein continues to hold on to second.
Yeah, the battle right here now between pretty much the top 10, 11 cars. The business has picked up. There's Wilson now peeking back to the inside of that 777. We got him 2 and 3 wide behind him, but that battle for second, Wilson, after leading every single lap, getting past on that one restart. Caution comes out behind us. We do have a car around looking for the culprit here. The 97 is around the 74 as well, but it does look like that started actually a little bit in front of him with the 5 car, Austin Carr. Extremely slow. This 97 completely destroyed that car.
A couple of more cautions just to make the night a little bit more interesting. It's still not as bad as what we've seen in the previous weeks. The modifieds are putting on not too bad of a show tonight. The likes of Wilson now going to restart in third. Weaver, he's going to have the outside line, but this is going to be an interesting restart. Considering that when the pole car goes, the guy in third generally gets a good jump. Now that's going to be Wilson. As Leverstein, he's going to be stuck up on that high side. That's where they've all been running. They've been running the high side in 1 and 2. But, the likes of McKinney and Leverstein, they've been running the bottom in 3 and 4, really trying to change up their line and kind of using a half a swinging lap, to try and get around this Knoxville Raceway. Oh, okay, going then. No worries. He's obviously having a Bret Hart. He's having a dart, a smoke. 28 complete, 22 to run.
Yeah, you gotta do that sometimes.
Right. Will you light one up?
No. I about said not on camera, but I wish I had one. Are we going single file this time, or?
Yes, single file.
All right. Well, definitely gonna benefit the rest of the field. Trevor Fitz, though, right outside the top 5 for the first time tonight in that 28 car. And how about Tyler Hudson up 11 positions in that 01 car from 19th to 8th on the field. Green flag is back out. Mike McKinney down and away, caught Leverstein sleeping. Has about a 4 to 5 car length lead heading into turn 1 that time. Dylan Wilson all over the back of that 777, going to diamond off the corner, try to get to the inside. Leverstein in the wall a little bit. There goes Wilson to second. On the inside, here comes Weaver trying to follow suit behind that 80 car. And Shane James in the 3 just barely lets that 07 get in there. Howard Weaver squeezes in where he can fit in, maintains that 4th position. And James still in the top 5. Oh, Leverstein got back into the wall again out of turn number 2. And there goes James into the wall. Fitz gets around him, capers to the inside. Hudson coming up as well.
I don't know where to look at the moment. We got Hudson throwing a slider, James in the wall, 2 wheels, and Gord now. He's up to position number 8. He's not past Shane James. And Ryan Gord making a move as well from 22nd up to position number 9.
Yeah, 20 car on rails. Speaking of rails, Shane James railing the wall back there. That 3 car, he's going to go all the way to the back of the pack. He's slow on the front stretch. Unfortunately, that's pretty much going to do everything but end his night here. After such a great run out of that 3 car, he needed a little bit more luck than what he was given But Dylan Wilson now chasing down our race leader in that 96. He's almost there, about a half car length in the turns. Separates that 96 and that 80. That 80, he's got a drive off of 2. Battle is off in a race lead. Slider.
Slider into 3 and 4, side by side off of turn 4. McKinney with the momentum down the front straightaway. Into 1 and 2. McKinney going to slide up with the cushion in 1 and 2. Wilson crosses back underneath him. We're less than 20 laps here in tonight's main event right now. Wilson going to throw a slide job on McKinney one more time. Told you before, this is the battle I wanted to see right now. Probably 2 of the best UMP modified drivers we have, and at the moment, whoa! McKinney and Wilson, that was close.
That was too close for comfort there between those two competitors. Dylan Wilson still on an outside, McKinney running it through the middle in that 96 car. Wilson retains the race lead and has about a 2-car length advantage at the start-finish line that time by. Now McKinney, he's going to have to get back up on the wheel and see if he can't catch back up to the 80 car. I think Dylan Wilson is a little driving a little mad there underneath that 80 car. He definitely starting to pull away now.
And McKinney's going to have his hands full in it with the 07 of Howard Weaver. They all ride that cushion in 1 and 2 on the top side of the racetrack. Weaver, slight contact with the wall, going to dive to the low side in turns 3 and 4. We got 13 laps remaining. Dylan Wilson, well, he may have had the race lead at the start. He may have lost it for a bit there, but he's now gotten back to the pointy end right now, and he leads by about 3 car lengths over Mike McKinney Weaver. And here comes Jacob Leverstein.
And there goes the 777 to the inside of the 07. Rides the berm, going to lose a ton of time. Gets it caught to the right-hand side. Loses that momentum he had as McKinney. He's into the wall in second. Weaver avoids him. Fitz is going to get caught up. Hudson goes around almost. The 01 still pointed in the right direction now. But McKinney has trouble, hops the cushion, and gets it to the wall in turns 1 and 2. Leverstein and Weaver now battling for that second position. They're side by side down the front stretch.
How in the world did we stay green? But thank you very much. Weaver has second, Fitz in fourth. He gets the wall down the back straightaway. McKinney, after that mistake a couple of laps ago, finds himself back in fifth. And I dare say he may have just cost himself a podium right now, as we've got 10 laps left to run here in tonight's main event.
So Wilson running away with it right now. Looking for a good battle on the racetrack. Leverstein, Weaver's got some separation on Leverstein. Back here, though, the 23 of Capron under fire from the 20 of Ryan Gaunt. And right behind him, the 01 and the 88 doing battle as well. That's Hudson and Wheeler. Wheeler gets the spot at the line. There goes Gaunt to the inside of Jeremy Capron. The battle for fifth is on. A top 5 would definitely be a good thing for that 20 car. He hasn't been towards the front much this season, but having a drive here tonight.
Yeah, that 20 machine has been on a rail. As I say that, I'm just going to stop talking about him because he just loses 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. That's how about Virgil Raymond, the 42? He started off the night probably in the tournament where he belonged, but he's raced his way to a top 10.
The 88-01 still duking it out as well. Hudson going to go down to the bottom, trying to slide job line. Wheeler going to block the slider. The 88 going to go back around the outside of that 01. Back into 3 and 4 they go. Hudson dives it in there. Slide job on that red 88. Going to make it stick. Wheeler's trying to cross him over. And he does get there at the line. I mean, that was about as close as it was during the heat races.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow it. I was going to pick it apart, but wow, Wheeler back to the inside of Hudson. We got 5 laps left to run here in the main event tonight, and it's all Dylan Wilson out in front. He has got a straightaway lead over Howard Weaver. Third is Leverstein, Fitz, and McKinney. Your top 5, Capron. Then you go back to Hudson and Wheeler. Kyle Morris also in the B from the B mate, 29th up the position, 23 up the position. I had to sneeze.
All righty. Still best race on the track right now. Still side by side with that 88 and the 01. The 93 Morris is out of fuel. Going to go to the inside of the racetrack. Hopefully, we do not see the caution. We got 3 laps to go for that 80 of Dylan Wilson, who's got a 2.5-second lead over Howard Weaver. Jacob Leverstein has lost a ton of time to that second-place driver. Trevor Fitz, Mike McKinney, Jeremy Capron. Everybody's still single file. Looks like Hudson and Wheeler are done battling for the night. 2 laps to run for the 80 of Dylan Wilson.
Well, you give a second place to Daylight Wilson, 1.5 to run into 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. The 80, he has been a rocket ship all season long. He has 4 more turns to go, half a mile for that 80 to find himself in victory lane yet again. Rides the cushion all the way around turns 1 and 2 past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. The first time it's been mentioned tonight, the sprint car capital of the world, the UMP Modifieds. Dylan Wilson in car 80 comes off turn number 4, dominates round number 6.
Yeah, that's going to be his 3rd win on the season. Howard Weaver, Jacob Leverstein, your top 3. Trevor Fitz and Mike McKinney round out your top 5. Tyler Hudson makes a good rebound. Actually, Jeremy Capron, he's hurt back here on the front stretch. Don't know what exactly happened to him. It looks like he might have been out of fuel there. He had the 0-1 get around him on the previous lap, and that was it. Let's see, Tyler Hudson, Chad Wheeler, Virgil Graham, Clay Devin, Mike Molnar, your top 10. John Literal, Ryan Gaunt, Randall Carter, Mark Molnar, Albert Perez, Drew Phillips, Jeremy Capron, Dave Hartman, Blake Brown, Kyle Morris, Roman Wesley, Shane James, and Austin Carr, your remainder of the 23-car field. And, man, that was actually a really good race, I've got to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna concur, as we're just waiting on a couple of drivers to get in Discord for their quick interviews. As you know what, we'll send it over to Wes. Yeah, we might as well start the proceedings off.
Yep, down here with the 777. Jacob Leverstein, man, great run for you. Had to race lead there for a point there halfway through the race, but still an awesome run, a podium finish for you here in the UMP Modifieds. Just tell us how it was out here in Knoxville.
It was pretty good track, actually. As you saw, I started out there on the bottom, then the top started coming in 1 and 2. Definitely a cushion there in turns 1 and 2, and it started actually to get really bumpy there at the end. That's why you saw Howard really pull away from me there, because I was having really a lot of troubles getting into the corner there.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened, because we're back here looking at another battle, and then all of a sudden you're like 2 seconds off of Howard. But, I mean, still a great run under the 777. A little controversy through the heat races, but still an overall great night out of your camp. Going to put you – actually, you're pretty – little far down there in the point standings, but, a night like this could definitely turn into some momentum for that 777 team.
Yeah, we've had some really bad luck in the modifieds this year. We're leading the late model points now, and I really thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought I was going to be really fast in the modifieds, but just a lot of bad luck in the modifieds this year so far. But it seems like it's turning around here.
Well, yeah, definitely tonight. Definitely seems like it's going to be the turning point here at the season, halfway throughout the season, and a great result for your car and you yourself. You got any thank yous and shout outs you want to get before we let you go and move on to the next person here?
I want to shout you guys out in the booth for always doing such a good job, and also Fox Sound Graphics for making me such a great looking car. And that's it.
All right, 10-4, bud. Well, congratulations once again goes out to that 777 of Jacob Leverstein. We're going to go ahead and pull in our runner-up finisher tonight in the 07 of Howard Weaver. Started out in 10th. Not exactly the best, your best start here this season, but you drove through the field and, just didn't have anything for that 80 car tonight, did you?
Yeah, I actually thought maybe I could keep up with him, but I think a lot of us were probably low on fuel at the end, and I was trying to save fuel and stay up at the same time. If there was like a caution with 2 to go, that would have been nice because then you kind of know if you're going to run out or not at that point. But it was a good race. I've actually been starting towards the back this season a lot, so I kind of am getting used to it, I guess. So finally able to start passing cars without wrecking. So
Well, that's always a bonus. So, um, but still, the '07 camp came in here second in the modified points. Unfortunately, your main competitor right now finished right in front of you. So, halfway point in the season. How's your outlook look for the rest of the season?
well, I thought from before the season started that Dylan was going to be the one to beat, and he hasn't ever got to run a full season here, so no one that hasn't known him for a while probably didn't realize he was that good, but he's going to be tough to beat. So if he has one bad night like I've had in the late model series several bad nights, then it could change. But if we're just running pace to pace, clean races, he's going to be hard to beat.
All right. Well, congratulations again on that runner-up finish here tonight. Got any thank yous, any shout-outs you want to give before we let you roll on out of here?
Yeah. First, I want to say hi to my dad. He actually this time last week he had a heart attack and was in the hospital, and I found out after the race last week. So he's doing a lot better now. So I just got to say hey to him because he watches all the races, and so hopefully he's still recovering good. But yeah, first I just want to thank him, for everything he's done for me growing up and stuff. And then I got to thank X.CELERATED, Team Friday, Off Camera TV for the coverage, Brett, everyone racing clean up there. That until the very end, that looked like a really, really fun race with lots of battling for the lead. So I'm sure it's pretty exciting. So we'll come back next week and try to get in victory lane again.
All right. Well, congratulations goes out to that 07 once again. And I believe Brett is down here with our winner.
Yep, standing by the number 80 machine of Dylan Wilson. And Dylan, well, congratulations on yet another UMP modified victory. I guess it doesn't get get sick of being in victory lane.
No, I'll sit here every week if they let me.
Man, this racetrack tonight. I mean, you guys started on the bottom in the heat races. The feature race, you guys were sort of all over the joint, trying to find a rhythm. But at the end of the race, man, that cushion was just too good in the end.
Yeah, the cushion came in amazingly for us right at the end there. I mean, my car was kind of broke after the contact with Mike there, and I was stuck on the top because I couldn't turn into the lower part of the track. So I just ran the top. It came in, and the contact and the right front being broke probably helped, to be honest. But we'll take it. We probably got a little lucky to be that good at the end. I think we still had enough to win the race, but I mean, we were just moving at the end. The car felt really good, and just want to say thanks to Clay. He hooked me up with a set, and he built some awesome freaking sets, man. These things just drive themselves. Trevor, we tested a little bit before the race. We all got in a server and bounced ideas off each other. Thank you, those guys. Thank the whole team, T1RT, Rocket, and everybody over there. Yeah, he makes this thing go around.
Man, what was going through your mind probably at the halfway stage of the race? You had the race lead, and then all of a sudden, you find yourself back in third. What were you thinking at that part of the race?
Yeah, we actually fell back to fourth, and then I think on another restart we got up to third. But I was just trying not to, get wrecked. I was just trying to finish third, fourth, fifth, wherever. Have a good points night because I figured we were going to be junk after the wreck. And I just got on the top, man, and it felt awesome. I was telling those guys in TeamSpeak, I thought we were screwed, but the cushion came in, thankfully for me, and we were able to hit it and be consistent, and that's ultimately what wins these races.
Oh, you put the number 80 machine in victory lane. You started the night off well, and you continue just to dominate these races throughout the season. Once again, we thank you some sponsors as well.
Yeah, like I said, thank all the guys over there at the team. Thank you, VLR, for putting this race on. This is like the hardest thing to win on iRacing, man. The best competitors come out for this thing, and when you win one of these, you're doing something. So thank you for them for putting it on. Thank you for you guys for broadcasting. Thanks for everybody for watching. I'm glad we were able to clean up the racing at this race. I mean, I'm sure it was a better show than last week was, and yeah.
That wasn't hard. I've seen some officials better than last week's show, but Wes, that will do it from me down here in Victory Lane. I've got another race to go to. Thankfully, I don't have to go far from the comfort of the wheelchair. I don't have to go far virtually either. I come back to the Knoxville Raceway. I am out.
All right, Brett. Well, that's going to do it for us as well. Great race of the night. Glad to see it got cleaned up a lot. Hopefully this trend continues. Of course, Sunday night, we're going to be live on the Dirt Collective for the 410 and 360 Sprint Car Series. And next week, we got the UMP Modifieds back here on Wednesday night. Hopefully we can get that started around a decent time and, keep this shebang going. So thank y'all for watching tonight. For Brett, Dylan, and myself, we are OCTV, and we are gone. Thank you for watching.